All right. Well, good evening, everybody. I have 7 o'clock on the dot, and we want to be respectful of your time. We also recognize that tonight is a big night in Falls Church City Public Schools, and there are a lot of things going on with curriculum nights and everything else. So this is being recorded and will also be streamed, available to stream, and will be in the morning announcements tomorrow. So I hope that you don't jump off now, but if you're here and you want to go off and do some other things, just know that this will be available online tomorrow morning through morning announcements. My name is Peter Noonan. I'm the superintendent of schools here in the City of Falls Church, and it's my honor and privilege this evening to share with you a mid-year update on where we are with respect to our 5-year strategic plan. With me tonight are two very important people in this process. The first is Mary Beth Connolly. She is our Director of Strategic Planning and Community Outreach in Falls Church City Public Schools, and also Kristen Michael. Kristen serves as our Chief Operating Officer and does everything outside of instruction, but is still an instructor at heart too. So tonight we wanted to begin our presentation with a video that was shared last night at the school board meeting. And it also was shared this afternoon with our staff as well, that gives an update on one of the 5 key indicators in our strategic plan. And as we go through this evening, one of the things you'll learn, if you didn't already know, is that there are 5 key actions or key indicators that we are focusing our efforts on as we go forward. And this first key indicator is about investing in our people. And, investing in our people is something that's very important to us. And I think that this video sort of bears that out. So I'm going to share it here and give you an opportunity to see it. There we go. Investing in our people that came out of our new strategic plan as one of the main focus areas. It's one of the most important aspects of our new strategic plan. In fact, our budget this year reflects it. The vast majority of our budget that we've put forward for review by the school board is investing in our people.
First, we have a step increase for all of our eligible employees. We have a 2% cost of living adjustment, as well as a longevity bonus for our employees who are at the top of the salary scale. Also, in terms of investments in our people, we have a number of benefit enhancements. We are increasing the sick leave payout for all of our employees when they retire or separate from the system. We have 6 weeks of parental leave for all of our employees, and we're adjusting the health insurance rates for our part-time employees so they can receive health benefit rates at the same rates as our full-time employees.
So as part of the investing in our people component of FCCPS's strategic plan, we're working with a consultant to complete a very comprehensive compensation study. The study encompasses positions throughout the district, teachers, support staff, administrators, and will give us a complete picture of our competitiveness across the market.
I know that one of the budget proposals is paid parental leave, and I can't really overstate how proud it makes me to work for a district that is proposing this, and not to mention, I think the first in Virginia to propose a paid parental leave policy.
I know that there's a proposed budget where insurance premiums will be less for part-time drivers and for part-time people and bus drivers. The benefit for that is it make it less stressful for the bus driver financially.
When thinking about a professional development plan for FCCPS, we knew that we did not want to do this work in isolation. So we sought out to bring forward a group of diverse thinkers from various areas of the division. So instructional professionals, leadership professionals, but also staff members and support staff members. So with that, we sought out to create a professional development committee.
So this year we have invested quite a bit of time in professional development for our employees in FCCPS. First off, we committed to a division-wide professional development in August that was a conference style that gave our employees options of choice that best meet their needs. And then we also, in terms of a division professional development, take those short Wednesdays, those times within the year that the professional development is actually given at a school-based level.
The partnership we're developing with Northern Virginia Community College has the potential to be life-changing for our employees. There are people signed up now to earn an associate's degree, to earn teacher licensure, and to learn English. We're so excited that 12 people signed up the first semester that we've been offering tuition reimbursement, and we expect many more to do so in the future.
So FCCPS is helping pay for classes at Northern Virginia Community College. And it's a really great opportunity for me to get more education, because in education, it pays to have education. And I'm going in so that I can get some classes at Nova and then move on to Mason and get my bachelor's degree.
I love that saying, Kayla.
Yeah.
It pays to have education and education.
It does.
So I'm going back for my teacher's licensure to gain that through Nova Community Colleges, thanks to the support of Falls Church City Public Schools, because I could not do it without it. So it's wonderful to get on that path. It's wonderful to be in the same cohort as Kayla, and it's exciting.
Estoy agradecida con FCCPS porque me ha dado la oportunidad de que pueda tomar unas clases y que ellos me las estén financiando. Voy a estudiar inglés. La próxima semana comienzo clases, es aproximadamente 5 meses. Espero poder retribuir con el aprendizaje lo que ellos están pagando por mí. Gracias.
It's the people that make our school system great. You know, we talk about the accolades quite often about Falls Church City Public Schools. You know, we have the best composite SOL scores, which is, you know, one measure of success. For the 5th year in a row, we've been ranked the #1 school division in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of the really outstanding people that we have in our system. So it's important for us to not only recruit the best, but to be able to retain the best as well. And by investing, whether it's through pay scales or increases in salary or better benefits or better professional development, but truly investing in the profession of the people that work for us is what's going to continue to make Falls Church City Public Schools great. All right. Well, let me make sure that gets turned off and we don't we're going right into something else. Okay. So I want to just take a second to thank Laura and Steve and Kayla and Scott and Jessica for being part of our video. You know, one of the things that I think makes a strategic plan special is when it's not something that's done and put up on a shelf and gets a little bit dusty over the 5 years, but actually has an impact. And one of the things that we are committed to making sure of is that our strategic plan is actually impacting our employees and our students and our community in really positive ways. And so we're very proud to tonight be able to share with you our 6-week our 6-month sort of progress monitoring report, if you will, around our strategic plan. So I'm going to ask Ms. Connolly if she wouldn't mind putting up the presentation for us. And so this is officially the FCCPS strategic plan mid-year update. And before we go forward, the one thing I do want to point out in this is that each of these strategies or these key indicators, if you will, has also a picture that goes with it. Actually, Mary Beth, we'll go forward because let me talk about the agenda real quick. First, we do want to spend just a second reviewing the plan. I think most people on the call, I hope, or who are viewing are familiar with this plan. We had over 1,000 people engage in our strategic planning process last year. And we'd like to give a progress update about that and then talk about sort of our next steps. But let me review quickly where we started this year at our convocation, which is our big kickoff at the beginning of the year. You'll see us at the high school. I had an opportunity to share for the first time our new 5-year strategic plan with our staff. And one of the this is just a sort of heartwarming moment for me when I see this picture, because it was the first time that we actually got our t-shirts in advance of our convocation. And one of the nice things I think about all of us wearing our t-shirts that day is in some ways it spoke to the unity of our school division and the fact that we were working so closely together and really building relationships, continuing to build really great relationships as we work towards our excellence in our school division. So the 5 key actions that are associated with the plan are, go ahead and move forward, Mary Beth, if you don't mind, are rooted in some pretty significant areas. The first is our mission, our vision, which I won't read, but I do want to spend just a second talking about the fact that the 5 key actions are rooted in our core values. And these core values came out as part of the conversation in the community and with our staff and with our students throughout the process last year. And the first core value was that we are a student-centered community. And I think that that's really important to keep in mind insofar as we do everything, all the decisions that we make really are rooted in what is best for our students. Sometimes it's in conflict because, you know, each of us have students in the system and we are a school division that are responsible for 2,700 kids. So we try to make the best decisions we possibly can, being a student-centered community within a system, a public school system. We also believe that we need to be responsive to the needs of our students, the needs of our teachers, the needs of our community, and accountable to the outcomes that we are achieving. We must continue to beat the drum around inclusivity and diversity. These are core values that we embrace and really are who we are as a school system. Of course, we believe strongly in academic success, and then lastly, community connection. The last part of this slide really speaks to the collective commitments that we make as an organization to our students and to our community. And these came out of that process as well. And the first, again, is that we're student-centered, but we also want to ensure that we're providing the highest quality teaching and learning that is possible within our school setting. We do the very best we can to individualize learning environments for our students. We feel like it's really important to stay competitive and provide really great salaries and benefits, not only for recruitment, but for retention of our staff as well. You'll see terms like multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS. This is important to us because these multi-tiered systems of support are in place to ensure that our students get timely and tailored intervention that's by name and by need. So if a student is struggling in class, how are we going to get them with someone that can provide them with the opportunity to fill the gap? And at the same time, if we have a student who's being really successful in the classroom, how might we extend and enrich their learning with more depth and complexity? And that's part of our multi-tiered systems of support as well. We're focused heavily on the social, emotional learning and mental health of our students this year, and you'll see that in our budget. We are including more resources for emotional and mental health support. We continue to support this idea of being a caring and welcoming culture. We're seeing students come in routinely from all over the world. We are one of the most sensitive districts in the world, at least in the United States, relative to what's happening around the globe. So we saw students coming in from Ukraine. We saw students coming in from Russia last year. We saw more students turning over than we have in the past. And we do a really great job, I think, of welcoming our students and caring for them. We are compassionate and active lifelong learners. We're responsive to the current needs and trends that are out there. And lastly, we are committed to removing systematic barriers to equity in our school and to really interrogate and dismantle policies and practices that are rooted in inequity, and providing our adults and our students training and opportunities to learn about those so that we can break down those systematic barriers. So all of those, the mission, the core values, and our collective commitments led to these 5 areas of key indicators. The first is IB infused teaching and learning. We are an international baccalaureate pre-K through 12 school division. And it is very important to us that we continue to focus on our approaches to learning and our approaches to teaching within the context of the International Baccalaureate. We all want our students to exhibit those International Baccalaureate traits when they leave our schools, and they start learning those as early as pre-K at Jessie Thackeray. We're committed to wellness, equity, and belonging, making sure that we're providing all the necessary supports for our students to be successful. We want to continue this notion of continuous communication and engagement, not just with our staff and not just with our students, but also with our community, and ensuring that we're providing information in digestible ways that is also offered in multiple languages, that addresses not just routine communications, but also time-sensitive communications. You heard a lot about investing in our people in our video that we shared earlier. And then the last is we are committed to being good resource managers and continuously improving, which means that we're good fiscal stewards. I had the highest compliment paid, I think, not too long ago by one of our parents who has been a budget hawk in the City of Falls Church schools for the last 10 years. And I said to this person, hey, we haven't seen you at a budget meeting in the last 2 years. And she said, I don't need to come to the budget meetings anymore because I trust you guys. You've proven to us that you know what you're doing, and you're very clearly and transparently sharing what's happening in the budget. And I thought that was an extremely kind compliment, but really speaks to our resource management and our idea of continuously improving. Our schools also are working on plans, and those plans are completely aligned to our strategic plan. And we believe that if we implement not just our strategic plan, but those plans that our schools have put together as well, that we will be the best school division, continue to be the best school division in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but also have the best working conditions in the Commonwealth of Virginia and across the United States, because we know that really great working conditions translates into great learning conditions for our students. So our progress update tonight really focuses on a few things. One is, certainly what's in our 24 proposed budget. And everything that's in that proposed budget is aligned within the strategic plan. Each of the schools have their 5 action plans that are aligned, and our budget represents those school requests as well. And right now in our system, we have over 500 people that are currently actively engaged in the implementation of our strategic plan. Very quickly, we'll breeze through these, but we have strategic alignment between and among each of the schools. And you'll see if you go onto our website, and we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. What is Mount Daniel, Jessie Thackeray, Oak Street doing to support the school action plans that actually ultimately roll up into our big strategic plan? And the same with the secondary campus, Meridian High School, and also Mary Ellen Henderson. What are they doing to support our work as well? So if we go on to the next slide, you'll see how we've aligned our budget this year, the 24 fiscal year budget, with the work of the strategic plan. And there are 4 very specific key components that you'll see in this slide. The first is investing in our future. The second is IB infused teaching and learning. The next is wellness, equity, and belonging. And the last is resource management and continuous improvement. And I won't go into all of these, but I do want to highlight just a couple. And Mary Beth Conley will be talking about some of them as well. But investing in our people, obviously you saw many of the things that we're doing within the presentation that we did, but ensuring that we're competitive in the market with our eligible employees. We're proposing to give a step increase and a cost of living adjustment of 2%. We're looking at an additional bonus for staff that don't step at the end of the scale. We've got some really nice enhancements that Ms. Michael spoke about in the video. Doing paid parental leave for all of our employees. We'll be the first school division in the Commonwealth of Virginia that will offer 6 weeks of paid parental leave to our staff. We're also changing our sick leave payout for folks that have been in the system for 5 or more years, so that it limits the desire to use it or lose it. We really want our staff to keep their leave and be able to sell it back. That doesn't mean don't come to school, or that doesn't mean come to school if you're sick, but don't just use it just for the sake of using it. In IB infused teaching and learning, some of the things you'll see there is we are looking at adding to our advanced academic teacher team at Oak Street Elementary, continuing some of our staffing in ESOL that's there. We're continuing to grow our IB career program at the high school in wellness, equity, and belonging, continuing a school counseling position, a school psychologist position that's been paid for out of one-time federal dollars. We're looking at putting tennis court lights on the tennis court. So there's some fun things in there too. And some improvements in the playground at Jesse Thackeray and providing responsive classroom to our elementary schools. And lastly, in terms of resource management and continuous improvement, this is where we sort of capture the inflationary costs that have gone up across the system. So you'll see things in here like property, vehicle, and liability insurance going up, supplies going up, utility increases, but we also have some other things that are maybe a little bit more interesting and flashy, like we're going to do some baseball field improvements. We think that that's part of being good resource managers and continuously improving. We're going to put up a new flagpole and a couple new things out by the baseball and softball field, and we look forward to that. So those are a few things that are in the budget. Tonight is not a budget presentation, but it's almost impossible to separate the budget from the strategic plan, because this strategic plan really drives our budget decisions at the local level. So with that, I want to turn it over to Mary Beth Conley, who is our Director of Strategic Planning and Community Outreach, to talk a little bit about some of the things that we've been doing and that we're monitoring as we go forward throughout the year, and then also share with you where you can find more information should you wish to dive in a little bit deeper. So Ms. Conley, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Dr. Noonan. Good evening, everyone. My role as the Director of Strategic Planning is to take all of the projects that are happening in all of our schools across the division and tie them and link them directly to the strategic plan. And Dr. Noonan mentioned earlier, there are more than 500 people that are involved in implementing the strategic plan. So what I'm going to do tonight is put some of the work that's happening in the schools in different buckets, different focus areas, so that you can have a sense of how it all works together. Sometimes if you're really focused on one area, you don't see the big picture. So this is a big picture presentation. And the strategic plan had a lot of big words and big ideas, and that's really important. But what we are focused on now is turning them into meaningful actions, things that people can see and understand. So we've been through investing in our people. There's some of the things there that we've talked about. We've got a compensation study underway, and an extra pay for extra duty committee is looking at that work. There's a professional development planning committee that has convened, and there's leadership development for some of our administrators. And then Dr. Noonan mentioned what's happening in the FY24 budget. And then towards the bottom here, we had talked at the beginning of the year. Oh, I forgot to say one thing. All these lines came from convocation. So when we did those slides at convocation and talked to staff, there was a list of the many, many things that we were going to promise to work on this year. So these are the things that we promised to work on back in August, and an update on how we're doing. So at the bottom there, we have explore sharing savings from the substitute budget at the end of the year and sabbatical leave for employees. So here's how we're doing. And we have some buttons here. So 2 of them are complete, the religious holidays and beginning the tuition reimbursement program. The next set are all in progress. And the last 2 were not active yet. They're definitely still on the agenda, but we haven't gotten to starting them yet. And you'll be hearing about them in the next few months and the next few years. As we move into IB infused teaching and learning, some of the projects that we're working on were things that were already underway as we were developing the strategic plan, like new elementary report cards and the secondary grading and reporting changes. And if you're a parent in one of those schools, you know that those things have indeed been happening this year. We also have some additional IB projects, like the career-related program authorization is pending at the high school. We've got our IB coordinator for elementary setting up the PYP program at Jesse Thackeray, along with our Jesse Thackeray team. And there's an academy for sustainable thinking that's in development in our secondary schools. We also have a very exciting new inclusive local history curriculum project. And one of our middle school teachers, Jamie Osborne, is working with a lot of members of the community to develop a brand new history brand new curriculum that will incorporate a lot of local history. The Turner Hill Heritage Foundation is involved in this, as well as the Falls Church Education Foundation, which is funding it. But Jamie has spoken to many people in the community to build this curriculum. So we're really excited about how that will roll out in the next year. And then we've also focused on expanded opportunities for collaboration across schools and grade levels. And at our secondary schools, every early release Wednesday, they have a full slate of activities and schedules where all of our teachers are able to work together in a way that really helps with collaboration. And then one of the things we learned as we were doing the strategic plan is that although we are an IB K-12 IB district, a lot of people in the division don't fully understand exactly what that means. So we have had a lot of staff working this year on ensuring that there's more understanding in our parent community about what that means to be an IB school division. And there have been coffees and parent nights and websites and descriptions of pathways. And if you still don't understand it yet, don't worry, there's still a lot more opportunities, and we will keep working at it because that's a commitment. We want to make sure that everyone understands what that means and why that's wonderful for your children. So our elementary report cards and secondary grading and reporting changes are complete. We've got all of the IB programs are all in progress, as well as our last three all in progress, and work is still continuing on those. We move into wellness, equity, and belonging. We have a lot of people focused on that, and Dr. Noonan mentioned some of those earlier, but we've got a division-wide team that's really looking at what are the barriers that are preventing equitable access for parents. It could be language barriers, it could be just understanding how to navigate our website or the registration process. So people are looking at a lot of details. And then we also have an equity division leadership team that's also looking at how are we ensuring that students have access to all of these things along with their parents. We've got a parent survey that will be released later this spring. Last spring, we did a survey of students and a survey of staff, a climate survey with a company called K-12. And now we're working with K-12 to do a survey that will also ask parents what they think about school. So if you're a parent, be on the lookout for that. That will come out later this spring. And then Peter mentioned the alignment of multi-tiered systems of support practices. And we have teams that are in all the schools making sure that they're doing it the same way so that we're supporting kids at all levels in many ways. We also started a program called FCCPS Takes 10 Check-in, which is a survey that we're asking our staff to do just to say how they're doing, how they're feeling about their jobs, what are they doing for their own well-being. And that is one that we started at the beginning of the year with high hopes. And as we've gone through the year, it hasn't quite played out exactly as we thought. But the good thing about this strategic plan is that it's not sitting on a shelf. It's a living plan. So this month, we're going to re-look at that and try to figure out a better way to take that data and make it useful and meaningful to staff so that we're really checking in on well-being. But there are activities in every school to support staff wellness. And the last thing on there that we talked about back in August was that we would limit new initiatives in FCCPS and work hard to rediscover the joy in our work. The first semester will be spent settling back into the flow of what the new will be. So if you ask any teacher or administrator in Falls Church City Public Schools, or even any student, there's a lot that's new. We tried to limit new initiatives, but it's hard when you have a new strategic plan and when you're coming back from a pandemic and when you're doing new things. So there's been a lot of new things going on. And so we thought about that one a little bit differently. So a lot of these are in progress. And we thought we should really rewrite the last one to better reflect the situation that we find ourselves in February of 2023. So we thought it sounded better to say that the intent to rediscover the joy in our work remains, and joy does happen every day. And I'm sure you see that on Twitter and in your children's stories when they come home from school. And we're trying to limit new initiatives, but there's so much that's happening as we work with children as they are coming out of the pandemic and getting back to normal. And we're trying to figure out what that new normal is. So we're all committed together to find joy while meeting the needs of staff and students. And that's a new commitment that is a follow-on to our August commitment. So that one has been reframed, and we'll give you an update on that in 6 months. The next one is resource management and continuous improvement. And again, back in in August, we talked about getting information from staff on their needs, what it would to help, what they needed to help do their job better and feel part of the community. And we ran some focus groups this year. Dr. Paul Swanson ran focus groups with bus drivers and cafeteria staff, administrative assistants, operations staff to find out what it was that they needed. And that is a big reason why we continue to pursue the Northern Virginia Community College program, because a lot of those staff said they really were interested in more education. Dr. Noonan convened a superintendent's forum, which is a group of people who work in all areas of the school division to advise him on topics in the schools. And then Ms. Michael worked with our general government to change banks, which seems, you wonder how that fits into the strategic plan. It will save a lot of money, and it's also going to increase efficiency for our finance team. There will be remote deposits. So when a finance person in a school gets a check, they'll be able to do a remote deposit, and that will save a lot of time and resources, because you think about how many checks they get in the school office for different activities. So this will save a lot of time and resources for us. We also have increased internally the use of our employee intranet and Frontline, which is our employee information system. So when we sent out intent to return letters and contracts, they all went out on something called Frontline, which made it a lot more efficient and easy for people to fill out that paperwork. And then in our schools, we have school staff advisory councils, and that's an internal group of employees and administrators that meet to talk about issues within each school building. And the principals tell me that they are really effective and very important to have them in their schools. So that is helping us with making the schools a great place to work and go to school. And all of these are in progress. And our last focus area is communication and engagement. And the first thing on there is a communication survey that's underway, and it is underway right now. So if you haven't had a chance to fill out the communication survey, please go to the website, fccps.org/survey. And you have until February 22nd to put in your comments about communications in Falls Church City Schools. One of the things we heard working on the strategic plan is that everybody loves the morning announcements and relies on the morning announcements, and sometimes sets their alarm in the morning to be the morning announcements, but also that we're all drowning in information, and there's so many ways to get information. So we'd like to find out what you love, what you don't love, what you'd like more of, so that we can improve communications. We also have this great program called Class Tag. And if you have an elementary student, you've already experienced this. Class Tag allows parents and teachers to communicate in their language of choice. So when parents sign up, they can pick the language that they want. So the teacher will communicate in their language, and the parent will be able to read it and respond in their language, and it does the translation for you. And that has been really effective. Our elementary teachers who are using it can't say enough about how much it has really created a great bond with parents who they speak different languages then. And we're also sending out our principal newsletters at the elementary schools using Class Tag. And that has been very effective as well in reaching all families. And we have parent liaisons at the elementary and secondary schools working with multilingual families and building relationships to make sure that they're all included in our community. And be on the lookout in the mail, because a flyer will be coming soon called Where to Find FCCPS Information. And it's a flyer that has all sorts of information about how to find things, what apps we're using, and where to really be able to follow FCCPS on social media, as well as to sign up for newsletters if you're not getting them all. And all of those things are in progress. So as Peter said earlier, with the implementation of the plan, now that we're 6 months in, we can say over the next 4.5 years, I believe we'll continue to be the very best division in the state and have the best working conditions of any division. And we are very committed to making sure that happens for the employees of Falls Church City Public Schools. So what's next? We've got ongoing work on the initiatives that we've described tonight. The ones that are in progress will continue to be in progress. We have additional key actions to address that we haven't gotten to yet, and we will start working on those. We'd like to involve more people in project implementation. 500 plus isn't enough. So if anyone is watching this and would like to get involved as a community member or an employee who wants to do a little more, please talk to your administrator or contact me, and I'll be happy to get you involved in a group that would really like to have feedback and input. We will continue to update the community using website updates. We'll have monthly videos like the one that we saw at the beginning that will focus on each of our focus areas. And then in June, we'll give you a 1-year update. So if you want more, this website, fccps.org/strategic plan, has much more information than we even told you tonight. So I'm going to click to that website. Here's the page. It has each one of our focus areas, and I'm just going to give one example because otherwise we'll be here until 10:30. But let's look at IB infused teaching and learning. The first key action is create innovative opportunities for learning and growth tied to the IB learner profile. So I click on innovative opportunities and it gives me this full page. Here's the area, here are the activities that are happening, and here's evidence and performance measures. So we went through all of those items that were on each slide and gave a lot more detail of what our committees are doing and how things are working. So please take a look at those when you have time at your leisure, and enjoy learning more about how we're really going to be continuing to implement things this year.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Yeah.
Connolly.
You're welcome.
Excellent. So that sort of represents our presentation for this evening. We were trying to keep it to 30 minutes. We went 35, but hopefully you'll give us a break on that one. We are very excited about the work ahead and know that this work is the right work, and it's aligned, it's meaningful, and it's going to move the needle again on student performance and continue to help us be the very best school division we can be. So with that, we'll sign off. I want to thank again Mary Beth Connolly, our Director of Strategic Planning and Community Outreach, and thank Kristen Michael, our Chief Operating Officer, for being here. And for me, Superintendent Peter Noonan, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you again soon with another update. Enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye.